actually got offered to sign two players, Yorgamo and Pop. And we said no to them because we wanted to stick by the roster. We wanted to give it a chance, but then we played. It went bad. The problems that we were aware of didn't go away.
Hey guys, this is Pedro back with another interview again covering VCT Americas before the first split of the 2024 season. I'm here accompanied by Immi, a returning guest, the coach of Cloud9, coming off of a 2-1 victory over Leviatan to start off the season with a W. So, Immi, like I said before, thank you so much for taking the time once again. You just start off with just how that third map went down, going through multiple overtimes, just having to go through all of that chaos. I mean, how are you feeling after going through such a display like that?
Relieved, stressed, everything. But I don't know, it was tough, right? Because we load in, we see a comp we've never seen before, agents we've never scrimmed against, so we just had to have a conversation about what it does, how we can play against it. And it was tough. We said from the start like we need to go aggressive, and then we weren't going aggressive on defense. But then we ended up doing it, and the whole game turned around. But it was super tough and super stressful for sure.
And exactly how were you guys able to just overcome those kind of obstacles that you already elaborated on and just trying to tough it out? Because especially like in the overtime, it kind of got to a point where both teams are already familiar with the kind of stress that you guys were displaying throughout the series. So it just kind of came down to just mindset and just kind of executing properly. So how were you guys able to just get it done with a victory?
Um, Bit of skill, a bit of luck. Like we knew how to play on defense against them, so we were getting the defense rounds all the time, and we knew how to play on attack against them because we showed it in the whole of the normal time. But then we got into overtime and we were doing B rushes, A splits instead of just like pulling out the rotations and then ending in a pop. So in the end, we just went, guys, we've lost like 3 rounds now, Russian. Let's just go back to playing slow.
Yeah, and it's a quite a massive stepping stone for the better for you guys, starting off with a win over a team such as Leviatan, which of course everyone already knows, um, has expectations coming into them. But yeah, how crucial of a result was it for you guys to just take down a team such as that, given with the recent roster switch that happened for this team, ahead of Split One.
It's a massive win. Probably one of the toughest teams in our group. But the biggest thing was we didn't even play well. Like we genuinely didn't play our best in scrims. Now at the moment, I think we've won 67 scrims and lost like 7. So we really are playing really well in scrims. And we started very slow today, very nervous. A couple of people's first game. Um, didn't really play ourselves. But then it just turned around. We got a few rounds. The confidence starts flowing. We realize we're better than this, and yeah. But overall, it's a huge win. It's a huge win. It puts us in a really good place right now.
Oh yeah, of course, and yeah, you mentioned a little bit about nerves surrounding about of a few people that were coming into the stage for the first time. Of course, I'm talking about Moose and then also Rooney, but stepping into the team as a new member for this year's version of the squad, and so I mean, just talking about those two in particular, well, two Porter. First off, how have you seen them perform in this match against Leviathan, and also, of course, I gotta put out the obligatory. How did this even come together?
Okay, let's start with how they came together. So when we played the off-season tournaments, we knew we had problems, and it was one of those where we won, then we have a little break, and we come back, and we still knew we had problems, and we actually got offered to sign two players, Yorgamo and Pop. And we said no to them because we wanted to stick by the roster. We wanted to give it a chance, but then we played. It went bad. The problems that we were aware of didn't go away. So then it was like, okay, now it's time to just put them. It wasn't like we just lost them and oh, let's get rid of them. Like we actually knew about the issues. We tried to fix them. They didn't fix, and we got Rooney because we needed voices, right? So Jake and Max would play on either side, and they didn't really have a big vocal voice, and we needed voices to help us to give us more mid round. And I was a solo coach, so we needed help really. So we tried out Moose, and Moose was keep bringing ideas. He was vocal. He was a Sentinel main. If we didn't get Moose, Jake would have had to play Sentinel, and it was just a no-brainer at that point. We had to bring them in.
Yeah, and Vanity did an interview preview to the first split with Spike Tap, and he mentioned about how the team kind of experienced the kind of issues that you were talking about for this conversation, mostly communication aspects. You know, just you guys weren't really on the same page. Is what the onus of your point is, right? You know, mostly communication issues for the reason why such a switch has to be done.
Yeah, it was more not necessarily communication, like same, not really like we weren't on the same page. It was more people when they were scared to do things, they weren't aggressive, they weren't giving ideas. It just you can't. We don't have time to do that, right? We don't have. You only have like 11 games. We don't have time to build anything up, and if people aren't showing signs of an improvement, then you have to make that brutal decision. But I will give a shout out to my assistant coach. He's been a huge help to me. Googly, very very goes. He's going to go under the radar, but he's been a massive help to me.
Exactly how much of a help has he been, because you've been giving him a lot of praise. In addition to, I think, but Vanity also during the broadcast, in like one of the interviews that he did for like the official broadcast, exactly how much of a crucial help has he been? Because of course, I talked to you before the start of this entire season, before kickoff, and I mentioned about how you being solo and whether you had any help, any assistant coaches. You said no, because kind of you were like had previous experience with assistant coaches that kind of didn't help you effectively and just help out the team effectively. But then you of course mentioned Googly bringing him on, and so how much of a crucial has he been? And yeah, what
He's
made you
he's
contacted
been
him?
he's been a huge help. I contacted him. I have knew Googly for going on 16, 17 years. I've knew him for a long time. I played Source with him, CS:GO with him. But he just the difference in him and other assistant coaches that I've got, he has big cojones. Like he brings things, like he doesn't sit on the fence and go, "Oh yeah, that sounds good to me," or this and that. He actually brings things. He's proactive, right? He actually comes to me with things. I get up here now around 8 a.m. every day, and me and him jump on, we talk, then we jump on with Vanity and we talk, then we go to practice, then after practice we talk again. So having someone to actually get up with and speak to and actually bounce ideas consistently, who also like he's a very very smart guy too. So it's just a big difference because even if just before I just didn't have someone to get up and just really theory craft with, someone to like expand my brain, me to expand their brain and bring the best out of each other.
Yeah, it sort of feels like that this is the kind of thing that the theme that this team is now using for the duration of the season, and what that theme is, of course, setting the initiative, just being not having any fear, just not just being passive all the time, just being aggressive when the time necessitates. Do you feel like that's kind of the theme for this team now with this new version, with this new iteration?
Yeah, that's something we've massively been working on. And to be honest, it didn't really show today on our defense sides on Icebox. Low start, we're playing scared. Sunset, so slow start. We're like 5-1 down, 4-1 down. Um, and then even Ascent, again, slow start. Even though we know we should have disrespected them and we should have went aggressive because of their comp, we didn't do it. We started slow. So we still have those kinks that we need to change. But the good thing is we adapted. In the end, we went, okay, guys. Like after my pause on every map, we were like, okay, guys, it's time to fight them. It's time to go aggressive. Like let's not go into our shell. So that's the positive. But we don't have time to go behind every map and then bring it back. We've got to go out from the gate straight away. Get stuck into them straight away.
Yeah, and hopefully, of course, this momentum continues on for the rest of the season. Well, for the rest of this split. going up against such very well-regarded teams in EG, and then also after that, Loud in the ensuing weeks, and then so on and so forth. And so now that you've seen this Cloud9 team face off and defeat Leviatan, and just setting their vision towards the rest of your respective group for the split, where do you see the current level of Cloud9 against the rest of the competition in your group, and also if you want to share like against the rest of the league.
It's hard to tell. I mean, if we're going off scrims, we're definitely up there. We're definitely top three, top 14. But if we're going off our matches, last split, and obviously we've just won this game, but we've got to prove that that's not fluke. So we're still middle of the pack. Some people think we're bottom of the barrel. Some people think I deserve to be sacked. Some people think Vanity needs to be sacked. Like we got to prove everyone. I personally can see us being top three, top four. I can see us making champs, but we have to prove that, right? So of course I'm going to back my team regardless.
Yeah, and improving, so you're certainly taking the right steps and making that happen, defeating Leviathan. Immi, thank you so much for taking the time and doing this interview. I really appreciate it. One more time, best of luck for you and the team.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.